Hello everyone and welcome back to another video from Homemaker. Friends, we all love to keep plants in our house and we love to take care of them. We water our plants, we fertilize our plants, we provide them with the care routine that they need, and we adore them like our own children. Now, if our plants face any of the plant problems, we feel really sad and disappointed. We don't like to see them, facing all these plant problems. Now, if you look closely, you will realize that all these plant problems, they revolve around improper watering routine. Either you will see yellowing of the leaves or browning or drooping or brown spots or black spots or dropping of the leaves. So all these problems are related to improper watering routine. And many of us use moisture meters or hygrometers to make sure that they do not underwater their plants or overwater their plants. Now, you will see lots and lots of varieties of moisture meters out in the market, and they look something like this one. There are expensive varieties, there are cheap varieties, and there are some moisture meters that will only check the moisture. Some of the moisture meter comes in 3-in-1 variety as well. Now, this one that you are seeing in front of you, this is a 3-in-1 variety. It tells the moisture in the soil, it can measure the pH of the soil, and it can also measure the lighting that you are providing to your plant. Now, I have come across many people who use moisture meters to check the soil moisture and who ended up overwatering their plants or underwatering their plants, and either they lost their plant because of using the moisture meters, like ended up with lots of plant problems. Now, these moisture meters, there's no guarantee that these moisture meters are 100% accurate, because the moisture meters, they do not actually check the water content in the soil. Quite surprising, right? Well, yes, these moisture meters do not check the water content in your soil. Instead, these moisture meters check the electrical resistance in the soil. Now, it works, these probes, the probes of the moisture meters, the sensor probes, they work on the basis that water conducts electricity. So the more moisture is there in the soil, the lower the electrical resistance will be. I hope if that makes sense. So the more moisture you have in your soil, the soil will conduct more electricity and therefore lower electrical resistance, and that is what these moisture meters check. Now, the reading of the moisture meters can depend upon the composition of the soil, the fertilizers that you add in the soil. Even the tap water that you use to water your plants can cause the mineral buildup in the soil, which can alter the value or the reading of the moisture meters. Even the chunky soil mixes like orchid bark or pine bark and all these, the chunky soil mixes can also give the false readings in the moisture meters. So you cannot actually say that whatever reading your moisture meter is giving is accurate. It can be inaccurate as well. And if you have a cheaper quality of moisture meter with you, you cannot actually rely on them. And not only the cheaper varieties, even the expensive ones, there's no guarantee that they will give you the accurate reading. And honestly, I would say that it's not worth to spend a lot of money on just checking the soil moisture, where you can use other ways to check the soil moisture. So first way of checking the soil moisture without using the moisture meter is using your own senses. So friends, this is the most reliable method to check the soil moisture, and you can trust this method. So all you have to do is just stick your finger into the soil and feel whether the soil is moist or dry. Now, sticking the finger, how much you need to stick depends upon the size of the pot. So if your pot is too small, maybe 1 to 2 inches should be enough. But if you have a bigger pot, you might end up going deeper into the soil to check the moisture. Now here, you can also make use of your eyes. You can actually see the soil and you will come to know whether the soil is moist or the soil is dry. So these two senses you can use. Now if you have a really bigger pot, very big plant which you have placed in a really large pot, here you can use a chopstick. So you use a bamboo chopstick, stick it inside the soil, leave it there for 10 to 15 minutes. So what will happen is the bamboo chopstick will absorb the moisture, it will absorb the water, and you will come to know whether the soil inside, deep inside, is moist or dry. And then you can decide whether you need to water your plant or you need to wait for a couple of more days before the soil dries out to re-water your plant. Now there is the third method, which is lifting your pot and seeing whether the pot feels dry or heavy. Now when you are taking care of your plants every day, you will have an idea whether the pot is really light or it's heavy. And after you water your plant, you again lift it up and you will come to know that the pot is now heavy, which means that before it was dry. So you can make use of these three methods to check the soil moisture. If you don't have a moisture meter or if you do not want to use a moisture meter. Also make sure that you check the soil from different areas of the pot and not just from one side, because if the roots of the plant are more on one side, the soil on that side will get dry more quickly as compared to the other side. So you check each and every part of the pot to make sure that the soil is dry evenly everywhere or the soil is moist evenly everywhere. So this is one more thing. And now my intention of making this video is not to say that moisture meters are completely inaccurate, you cannot rely, don't use them, just chuck them out. That's not my intention. Why I have made this video is to tell you that just don't completely rely on the moisture meters, don't blindly trust them. Make use of other ways of checking the soil moisture as well, in addition to using this. Now if you really want to use this, I'm not telling you to buy this and then use the other ways as well, but if you are using them and you trust your moisture meters, then you can continue to use them, but use other ways as well to make sure that what your moisture meter is telling you is accurate, and you do not underwater your plant or you do not overwater your plant or kill your plant or face any of the plant problem. So friends, do let us know if you are using a moisture meter and what is your experience of using the moisture meter, whether you faced any sort of plant problem or it really worked for you. Please do share your experiences. We would love to hear about your experiences. Leave them in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'll see you next time with another exciting video. Till then, stay safe, happy gardening. Bye bye.